Hi, and welcome back to Just Ask the Question. I am your host, Brian Karen. With me today, long time, good friend, and a hell of a guy on January 6th. Man, he kept us all safe. I guess it's Capitol Hit, right? Capitol
Former
Police.
Capitol Police,
Yeah, Harry Dunn. Harry, thanks for joining us, man. It's good.
Brian, what's up, buddy? Thanks for having me on, man.
It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Well, here's where I wanted to go. You would be the guy that could talk a little bit about, you both of us live in the area, but you could talk a little bit more about policing and violence and Donald Trump's attempt to take over Washington D.C. Does it surprise you? That's the first question, and then to just ask the question, what the fuck is this son of a bitch doing now?
Who knows? But this is a continuation, a furtherance of Donald Trump implementing his administration. Actually, I don't even use the word administration anymore. This is a regime, and Donald Trump is implementing a full regime over this country, hell, over this world. You see what he's trying to do on the global stage and everything, but. First of all, the numbers don't justify what he wants to do. Violent crime is down all across the country and specifically in Washington, D.C. I believe I saw a report that is down at least 26% from this time compared to last year. So take credit for that, Donald Trump. You've reduced crime already. But for you to come out and just say that, same thing he did in Los Angeles when he sent the Marines there, when he sent the National Guard. Right. It's just his attempt, one, to continue to power play his way into power, and also continue to distract from Jeffrey Epstein. Anything and everything that he can do, except for handling that straight on. So let's always remember that anything that he's doing is a distraction from Jeffrey Epstein. Anything new. This move is in response to a young Doge employee who has the nickname of Big Balls. Big Balls.
Well, that fits in the scheme of things, doesn't it? Donald Trump has little ones. I guess someone needed to have
this
big
guy. Ones. This guy was
19,
carjacked,
right?
or he was breaking up. A woman was getting carjacked, and this guy hopped in, and some 14, 15, and 16-year-olds savagely beat him up. And this is Donald Trump's response to mobilize all federal law enforcement agencies and have them visible out on the streets. However, I saw this is the problem with that is these cops are visible. Cops are out, and especially in Washington, D.C. If people walk around, these crimes are...
I've never seen cops more visible than in Washington.
D.C. These crimes are crimes of opportunity, and they're not targeted. Like a lot of these crimes, these assaults, these carjackings, most of them are not targeted. They're just crimes of opportunity. And that speaks to the bigger problem. One, let's talk about prosecuting them and getting them off the street, or getting them off the street before they have the opportunity to commit these crimes. Prevention versus cure, which is something that I've always believed in.
Well, yeah, you're a police officer. So, I mean, that's one of the things that, community policing, crime prevention, so you don't have to risk your life. Those are all standards. Yeah. But the part that bothers me, the one that, and all of it bothers me, but the idea of Donald Trump coming out and saying jail these 14, try them as adults for a minor crime like this, it shows that he has absolutely no clue as to how the criminal justice system works or how difficult it is to put a 14-year-old in a fucking prison.
Yeah.
Because it just turns them into criminals.
Yeah, and also it just seems that he's giving 14-year-olds more brain power than a lot of them have. So I wonder if that's a silent admission to something there too. So.
He said subtly. Are you? But no, Trump doesn't have the brain power of a 14-year-old.
It's so silly, man, and it's not just silly; it's sad. I mean, like, sure, these kids shouldn't be out there committing crimes. They should be getting better educations. The schools should be better. Oh, wait, Linda McMahon, they're getting rid of the Department of Education. Apparently, they don't care about it too much. So,
or healthcare, or Social Security, or unless you're rich, forget it.
Forget about it. So, he doesn't have an agenda. He just does knee jerk reactions because the only policies that are flowing in harmony are those that him trying to implement a regime and a takeover. He's appointing loyalists, not constitutional loyalists, Donald Trump loyalists. He's appointing them,
Yes.
installing them in the positions. You talk about what just happened in the FBI. There's an individual that was on January 6th that NPR just got a FOIA request for the body cam footage of an MPD officer capturing Mr. Wise, who is now a senior advisor in the Justice Department. Mr. Wise chanting "kill them all," calling us effing Nazis and the Gestapo, not gazpacho, the cold soup. Like that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. She called us gazpacho.
Yeah, right.
We're just some soup, like
The
no.
Gestapo gazpacho.
Gustavo Gazpacho. But no, this individual now was up prior on January 6th. He was arrested. He didn't have his court date because before his court date happened, he was pardoned by the president.
Well, he pardoned. You were there January 6th. The thing that I keep going over is on January 6th, I call him Moose Lodge guy. The shaman.
Yeah.
The QAnon shaman and Donald Trump pardoned him. And as recently as last week, Moose Lodge guy came out and said, screw Donald Trump, that he's a traitor to the cause.
Well, you got to think about it real quick. That individual, the Moose Lodge guy.
That's all I can think of when I think
He was already pardoned. He was already pardoned after he served his time. So there weren't many people. I mean, the people that were in jail, compared to the number of people who served jail time, wasn't a lot. You know, got your Oath Keepers and your Proud Boys. They were in jail, but that's a small minority of the number of people who were in jail. So the shaman, all he did was I don't even think he got his record expunged. I mean, his pardon really did it really mean anything once he was already out of jail? I mean,
right.
He was already released. But yes, it just goes to show that Donald Trump's full of crap. And even more so, not even just Donald Trump, but the people who stormed the Capitol were full of it. They don't know what the hell they were doing. They were marching around without a cause, without a leader. Some of them, as we saw, that some of them had a very clear purpose and cause why they were there.
You interacted with them. So the question is, and here I just want to read this as conservative radio host Michael Savage. The key to this questioning is, do you think that MAGA will end up doing in Donnie? So here's what the conservative radio host Michael Savage posted on X. He said, Trump voters who I spoke with say, and these are MAGA people, he has alienated them because of escalating instead of diffusing the Ukraine-Russia war, 2, pushing a bloated pork barrel spending bill and attacking Elon Musk, 3, hiding the Epstein list, 4, firing the labor statistics chief who refused to back down, 5, unconditional support for Netanyahu's war, 6, accepting a plane from Qatar which will cost $1 billion to retrofit, and 7, building a gilded ballroom at the White House.
Yeah.
You interacted with some of these people. Does that sound like that they would follow or believe in?
But yes, it does. However,
yeah,
all you got to do is flash a shiny object in front of them, and their detention span goes away. They can hate Donald Trump all they want. They're still going to vote for him. They're still going to vote and support his party because as much as they hate Donald Trump, they hate Democrats or libtards even more. So,
well, you're not libtard. You're a communist. Goddamn.
Yeah, so yes,
I know that the Democratic Party's filled with them communists.
It's so crazy, man. So yes, at the end of the day, they are pissed off at him. Will they abandon him? I mean, it doesn't even matter if it abandoned him. I mean, unless
what if they
the amendment for a third term for him to run? Like, what is? I mean, we laugh about it, but who knows? In 2 years,
I really think he will. I don't think that guy. I mean, all right. You look at and first of all, I want to tell everyone if you've ever been to the Rose Garden, what he's done there is just poison. He made it look like a Mar-a-Lago coffee club. I can't stand what he's done to the Rose Garden. They took out the trees during his first administration, took out all the color. Everything's gray or purple or white.
It's paved. It's paved.
It's paved. It's white concrete. And now he wants to build the ballroom. I firmly believe he's going to try and stay there until they have to wheel him out in a coffin in that ballroom and he lays in state. But, it won't be a public showing. It'll only be for private individuals who have given $5 million to the Donald
Any chance that if Donald Trump, Democrats are in power when he passes, any chance that Congress says hell no if it's run by Democrats that he does not get to lay in state?
Yeah, I think that's I think the reason why, yes, short term, yes, I believe that's a possibility. More of a possibility is that the MAGA voters who are now angry with him, they may not vote for Democrats, but I think the conservatives...
They'll stay home?
Yeah, I think they'll stay home. So that's Donald Trump's biggest concern, I think. So in 2026, that's why he's trying to gerrymander districts.
Yeah.
So he doesn't lose control of the House or the Senate, because he knows damn well if he does, there will be an impeachment hearing, the likes of which we've never seen.
Every day. You know what? And I just said, it needs to be. Democrats need to campaign on it. We're going to impeach Donald Trump every week for 2 years. And that's what they need to do. Because, look, you're not going to get anything passed through the Senate. The impeachment is going to fail the Senate. Any major legislation is going to fail the Senate, even if they do take the House. But impeachment articles start in the House, and they have to be taken to the Senate and heard. So
yeah,
I believe. So that's how you stop Donald Trump. You impeach this MFer every week. The Senate fails to convict. Okay, we'll do it again. Okay, we'll do it again. And you impeach him for 2 years every week. And hell, Democrats should run on that. They should run on it.
And you've led into the other thing I wanted to talk about. You ran for office.
Yeah.
And I've said often what I think the problem with the Democrats is they're horrible at communicating. We have two parties in this country. One has no heart and one has no head. But that aside, what do the Democrats need to? Because people are not flocking to the Democrats.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. First of all, so. And I'll I'm trying to understand too where the Democrats' fight is and everything. But where's the line of compromising your morals and your values as Democrats? The Democrats are people that have morals, that have values, that believe in decency and decorum. They believe in that type of stuff. Republicans don't. They've shown us that they don't. So I believe that it's hard to just say, all right, F these morals. We about to go rogue on you. It's hard. At what point do you compromise that? I believe that's kind of difficult.
Right.
So maybe I'm trying to find, give them a path. This is why they're doing the way what they're doing. But
when do you become the enemy?
Yeah, exactly. And we're seeing it now. We're seeing it now with J.D. Pritzker. We're seeing it now with Gavin Newsom. Even Hochul up in New York, all right, that sounds good. Beat them at their own game. You don't need draw them damn maps. Do it.
Yeah, well, and what do you think of what's happening in Texas?
Those guys and those men and women there are doing a kick-ass job in standing up for what they believe in. This is fighting nowadays isn't sending a strongly worded email. It is actually taking action, standing up, and getting into good trouble. John Lewis would be proud.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite guys. How did you know him very well?
Yes. Not to the point we would obviously we didn't hang out or anything like that, but every time he see me, he would speak. I got a copy of his book. He signed it for me. Just an all around great person and just a very nice man. So
my favorite story of him is seeing him in the Capitol after I got in a little tiff with a certain well known president, and he just looked at me and goes, "That's good trouble."
That's good trouble. That's good trouble right there. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, nah, John's good. He was a great man. So, but to say that he would be proud, yeah.
So, so what do you recommend going forward for the Democratic Party? What do you want to see the Democrats do that they're not doing?
Well, I think they're starting to wake up. I think they're starting to. Obviously, think back when Schumer caved and gave and let the continuing resolution go forward and made it out of committee. But we need to remember, um, fiscal year 2025, 2026 ends end of September, October
Right.
1. So there's going to be a time where we're going to have to vote, and the Senate is going to need Democrat votes. They're going to need it. It's no way, or the government shuts down. We go through this every year with the government shutdown, and it's coming. It's rapidly approaching. So I think Democrats need to dig in. I'm reminded of an episode of Family Guy, and there's a guy on Family Guy. His name is Joe. Joe's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I know.
Joe's in a wheelchair, and Joe's like he couldn't do anything about it. And people were taking him. He was like, "Well, I'm not gonna make it easy on you," and he locks his wheelchair wheels. And he's like, they're trying to drag him out and scuffing up the whole floor. Like that's what Democrats need to do: lock your damn wheels, scuff up the floor, kick and scream, and make it as hard as possible for them. You need some concessions. Get some. Chuck Schumer didn't get any when he with his concessions the last time, and that pissed people off. I think people you got to explain. We don't have the votes. We don't have the numbers. We can't impeach Donald Trump. We can't remove him. We can't stop his agenda. We can't blah, blah, blah. We need to explain to that. However, we're going to pull out every tool that we have, and you need to tell people that. You need to tell people. People are just pissed, and they want to know when is Donald Trump leaving. That's literally all people care about. So talk to people in common sense damn terms. And there are some firebrands on the Democratic side. I mean, you have some.
Who are they?
Well, just the first two that come to mind are Jasmine Crockett and AOC. And the reason why they come to mind is because Donald Trump always attacks them as low IQ. So if Donald Trump is attacking you, you're doing something good. And I would say every Democrat, if Donald Trump isn't attacking you, step it up.
Yeah.
Your goal by the end of this week is to be attacked by Donald Trump. Because if he's attacking you, you're doing something right. You shouldn't be getting a pat on the back with Chuck Schumer with the confirmation at the end of August. Remember? I mean, at the end of July. You remember what he said to Chuck Schumer on Sunday? Chuck can go to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, Chuck, good job. Donald Trump, there you go. You want to piss him off. That's what you want.
Well, I seem to be able to do that with some.
Yes, exactly. You know.
Yeah.
More of that, Brian. We need more of that from the media.
Well, we're not there anymore. He's compromised the media. I mean, you have Russian plants, you have far right wing. These are not journalists; these are propagandists. And look, I've managed to piss off every press secretary I've ever met, including both of Biden's. But that's kind of the job. That's your job is to hold their feet to the fire, and we're not doing that with this.
We're not even close to it anymore.
No, we're sycophants in the briefing room. It's actually there's like a half a dozen, and the best reporters they keep out. So you don't have the AP, you don't have Reuters. So I still say Steve Holland and Jeff Mason are two of the best reporters in the White House, but they rarely get a chance to ask Trump questions. They rarely get a chance to even be in a briefing. They're out of the pool, and all you have are the sycophants who are saying, "Gee, Mr. President, you squirt rainbows out of your butt. Aren't you great?" Oh, I get tired of that shit.
Yeah.
So here's the other question I have. Who do you think are the rising stars in the Democratic Party? Who can make a difference in 2026 and 2028? And who would you like to see on the ticket in 2028?
So rising stars question is very tough because there are some people that are like, if you look at just the Democrats that are going to Republican districts and doing town halls where Republicans failed to do so. You got Chris Murphy, you have which is the senator, Maxwell Frost, Jamie Raskin, just the people that are leading, and obviously the two that I said. There's too many.
Jamie doesn't bow
at all. I mean, and then you have people that are quietly doing the work. Lauren Underwood comes to mind out of Illinois. Melanie Stansberry. I mean, there's just so many people that are quite. But so it's tough to say who the rising stars are, because I believe all of them in their own individual ways are rising to the moment, and that's very impressive. But 2028, the problem. So I think with 2028, so Democrats, I think we're too smart for our own good. We like if you know something like so we can't accept flaws. We want perfection, and that's not a problem with that. Except that perfection doesn't exist. That's the problem. That's the only problem with expecting perfection, knowing that perfection doesn't exist. We have a stable full of Democratic leaders, like I said, J.B. Pritzker, J.B. Pritzker, Gavin Newsom, Wes Moore, Gretchen Whitmer, New York, Kathy Hochul. There's just a stable full of governors out there that are just doing phenomenal work out there, that are doing whatever they can do to save their states. I mean, you look at Kentucky, Andy Bashir.
Let me ask you about that. You mentioned him, and I wasn't going to bring him up, but you did. So I got asked by a California politician yesterday if I thought that I know you're from Kentucky. What do you think of Andy Bashir? Could he win? And I go, I don't know. What are your thoughts? And he says, well, I think he could get Republican and Democratic votes.
Yes.
And he's a white guy and could win. He's a guy that could win in a blue or a red state. And I hadn't. Honestly, was not on my mind until he said it. What are your thoughts?
But it should be, though. I had the opportunity to do. I hit the campaign trail for Kamala with Andy Bashir, and we did an event together, and he's phenomenal. But just think about it. How does an individual like him get elected in Ruby Red, Kentucky, as a Democrat twice? He cuts through the BS and he gets stuff done. He hears people. He doesn't play into the name call or whatever. He's just very effective. Right. You know who another person like that is? A Democratic governor in a Ruby Red state.
Who's that?
It's Governor Kelly in Kansas.
Well, yeah.
She's a woman, a two-termed Democratic woman governor in Ruby Red, Kansas. So
you think the woman could win?
So that's the thing. I think that we need to focus. When I say we, I mean the Democratic Party.
Right.
I'm definitely aligned with them. I'm not affiliated with them officially. I'm just aligned with them. But I say we need to focus on those type of people. Or at least their ideas, their value. Hey, how are you doing this? How are you? It's not because you got a good ground game. It's not because you knocked more doors or did this. No. There are more Republicans in Kentucky than there are Democrats. So how does the Democrat win the vote? So those are the people you need to focus on. Those are the individuals.
Well, to put it bluntly, do you think a woman of color, a man of color, could win the presidency?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, it sucks. It sucks to say. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, and just look and one of. You know who we would be so lucky to have in the White House is Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah.
Pete Buttigieg would be amazing. He's fantastic. He's thoughtful. He's tactful. He's smart as all outside.
He's a very easy guy to interview. When he was in the White House, he would not hesitate to stop and talk to you. He would give you, and he reminded me of a young Bill Clinton with his grasp of his knowledge of issues, not the other stuff.
Yeah, not the other side of it. Yeah. But Pete, but Pete's great, and that's the thing. He'll talk to. How many times have we seen Pete Buttigieg on Fox?
Right,
a lot. Yeah, a lot. He doesn't avoid. He goes and meets people where they are, and he does it without getting all fired up and worked up. I don't think that he can win. And it sucks because it just shows who we are as a country. We don't want to accept people based on their sexuality, based on their race, based on their gender.
You know what? I'll disagree with you here to this.
Okay, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong.
Well, I think it's not that Pete Buttigieg is gay. It's that Pete Buttigieg is short.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, I think if he looked and it looked like Gavin Newsom had his hair and was that tall, he'd be a shoo-in for president.
Well, he's got a hell of a nice beard.
Yeah.
That beard's got to count for something.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete's beard is incredible, man.
And we
But I don't have that much faith in this country that we would.
why?
Because we showed who we were November 5th of 2024. We showed who we were. And we are a country that elects autocratic wannabes, dictators, 34-time convicted felons, found liable for... That's who we are. Yeah. That's who we are. Because we showed it. We had an opportunity to show different, and we didn't.
They didn't show up to the polls to vote. And the Democrats, what angers me most is when they go, Kamala Harris ran a perfect campaign. Well, no, she didn't. She didn't get elected. The idea of, I mean, you can run less than a perfect campaign and get elected. Trump did that. But you can't run a perfect campaign and not get elected because the goal is to be elected.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
I found that she ran a decent campaign. It certainly wasn't perfect. And the problem was black males didn't vote for her. Young people didn't vote for her.
Elon Musk had a lot to do with that, too. So going back to what we talked about earlier, people being pissed off.
And some didn't
Elon Musk has a base. Elon Musk has a big base. And Donald Trump wouldn't have won if Elon Musk wouldn't have supported him.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have the documentary coming out soon about the first week of the Donald Trump administration. And you and I remember walking not too far from the Capitol and we were talking. Yeah. And there was something that you told me that has stuck with me ever since. As we were walking down the street, you said, for you, it's personal. This hurts because the fact that your life and the life of your friends were threatened on January 6th, and they won't even admit that there was an insurrection. Now, 200 days into this, I can't describe it as anything other than a monstrosity. But 200 days into this, what are your thoughts now about it?
I'm used to it. It still sucks. Imagine sleeping. You know, you get the feeling when you take a nap or you're sleeping, you sleep on your arm and your arm falls asleep. You're like, damn it. But the arm sleep, it's uncomfortable, but I can't feel the shit anymore. You know, it's uncomfortable, but I can't feel it anymore. And that's kind of how I feel now. It's very uncomfortable. I don't want it to be this way. I'm trying to shake my fingers and get the feeling back, and it's not there. And I'm going to continue to try to get that feeling back by fighting and try to, get this guy out of here through elections. But it sucks, and it's still personal, and I never will take it as not personal.
How could you? I mean,
exactly.
And
I wish people cared about it as much as I did and do.
So here we are with 1,260 days left to go in this monstrosity. Mm-hmm. Do you think Donald Trump survives this the next 1,260 days? Are you concerned about the Republic surviving the next 1,260 days?
Extremely worried. I mean, look how much damage was done in the first quarter or whatever.
The first 200 days.
It's kind of like, you're watching a fight. Somebody gets damaged into the first and second round. There's no way this guy can go 12 rounds. And I feel like that's, can this democracy, do we have an iron chin? To talk boxing terms, do we have an iron chin?
No,
how many times the pitcher, hell, you can use all kinds of metaphors. You're talking about baseball. Pitcher comes out in the first inning and gives up 2 back-to-back home run, 3. Like, damn, is this guy done? How many times do they bounce back and just pitch a complete game after that? No. Let alone it's.
I like football metaphors. We've been scored on 3 times and haven't gotten the ball past the 20.
Oh, exactly. But I mean, is there a way for us to come back? I mean, all we need is an opportunity for a Hail Mary at the end of the game. Some kickers will just say, just get me to the 40-yard line, dude. I got it.
Yeah.
So we need our democracy to hold up. Just get us to November 2026. just get us to the midterms, like, or something. And I feel like that's what it is. Just get us to the midterms.
Yeah. Well, do you think the Democrats will perform in the midterms?
I absolutely think so, and I think that Republicans think so too. Mike Johnson has been on the record several times saying if the Democrats get back in power, they'll impeach Trump day one. Well, don't threaten me with it. Don't threaten me with a good time, Mr. Speaker. That's what.
I'll bring the liquor to that party.
Exactly. Hell yeah. Well.
Hell yeah.
And also that's what they're doing in Texas by Jeremy. They know that they are afraid. We are never. If this happens, we'll never get the power back again. So I think that they've realized that. I think that they know that.
Well,
I think that the Democrats need to believe it a little more. So.
Yeah, he's called for a census before the 2026 to rejigger the districts.
Yeah,
he talked about gerrymandering in several states to try and do it. So obviously he's afraid. He's exercising his extreme unction there about trying to get rid of, trying to institute voter suppression. What's your recommendation to voters?
Show up and vote blue. Now, listen. I mean, like we're seeing, these politicians work for us, and you need to make them answer for why they voted for Trump's big beautiful bill that gave tax breaks to billionaires, but not the hundredaires, the thousandaires. Why didn't it give breaks to those individuals? Why is it taking away Medicare and it's cutting Social Security? Why is it doing that? Why are you doing those things? You know what? You don't care about us. Why hasn't the price of eggs come down?
Well,
we don't give a damn.
I've reduced the price of eggs and drugs by 1,500%.
Yeah, you remember when Joe Biden, they passed that bill with Joe Biden, it was like, what, 8 or 10 specific prescription drugs that were going to be no longer. That was Joe Biden's doing. And why isn't the media pushing back on that? You're like, no, Joe, you didn't do that, Donald Trump. Joe Biden did that.
Yeah, we don't exist anymore. But to your point, what bothers me about that is my side of the aisle, the reporters, we're just not doing our job.
Correct. You know what another thing that really bothered me that I didn't see reporters doing? Donald Trump made the statement that says he's entitled to more seats in Texas. He said, I am entitled. WTF, dude. How is that not being asked what do you mean you're entitled? You are entitled to jack shit in this United States. Entitled? He said he's entitled. Give me a effing break, man. Where's the media? Why hasn't the media covered that? They replayed the quote, but how is nobody pushing that question down his throat? Oh, I know why. Because they don't let reporters like you inside the meeting rooms to ask those questions. Just ask the question.
Oh, baby, I'm there. The only way to deal with a bully is to thump him in the nose. That's. But I'll finish with this. I'll finish with two things. First is I go back to January 6th, and I was there that day, and you were there, and the thing that angers me most is watching people now telling me of a Russia hoax. Meanwhile, the January 6th people were patriots. I was there. These were not patriots. Yeah. And it angers me every day to have to listen to someone reinvent history and rewrite it, telling me that what I saw with my own eyes, what I experienced with the threats against me, with the people running up to me and threatening to kick my ass, for being there, that I'm lying or that I didn't actually experience
what you experienced. It's crap, man. It's a load of crap. I mean, I don't need to tell you welcome to my world. We've talked enough even offline about it and how infuriating it has been. But I feel like this is my hill to die on, metaphorically speaking, that I am never letting this go. I'm never getting over it. And I will never stop talking about how bad of a day that was and how responsible Donald Trump is and was for that day.
Yeah, and so we'll end with this. So what do you do to unplug and relax? I mean, besides trivia. I
Well,
know.
hold on. Let me see what I got here, man. I think I got a decanter full of whiskey here. I got a decanter of whiskey that I keep at next to every chair I sit in. I got a damn
I mean,
bottle.
I've got my bourbon here somewhere.
No, man. No, you know what? Honestly, I enjoy. I was last week. I was in Iowa, and then I was in Nebraska, and I going around the whole country, motivating Democrats, or not even just Democrats, because when I was in Iowa, the Republican mayor of the town came to hear me talk, and I was very grateful.
Where were you in Iowa?
Potawatomi. It was right across the bridge from Omaha.
Oh
Um,
yeah, okay.
but I'm gonna Potawatomi County or something. They're gonna be so mad at me if it ever listed now. But I can't pronounce it. I couldn't pronounce it when I was there. I damn sure can't pronounce it now. But right in Iowa, and the Republican, like I said, and that keeps me motivated. The reception, the people, and when I go out there, I don't give many
You're in Council Bluffs, though, right?
Council Bluffs, yes. Council Bluffs. That's
Yeah.
easy to say. But I was trying to say the name of the damn county. But there was the Council Bluffs Democrats that brought me out there. But the, when I talk to these people, I don't necessarily give angry speeches or, like this. I just try to give messages of resilience, a little bit of hope. I don't gaslight people. And I'll try to, I think this is how I'll end is, listen, I don't know if we're going to be okay. And you ask, hey, can we make it through these next, I don't know. I do know that if we don't do anything, then we damn sure won't make it through. So keep getting up every morning, keep showing up, keep fighting, keep resisting, lock your wheels and scuff up the damn floor. Don't make it easy on them.
Yeah. Well, I wake up every morning and go, I'm gonna survive this son of a bitch. No matter what else happens.
What else?
I've got kids and I've got grandkids. I'm gonna survive this son of a bitch just so we can go to trivia and have a drink.
Yeah. Hello. I can't wait, my friend.
Well, listen, Harry. I as always, man, it's always a pleasure, having you around, and I love you to death and miss you. So
You too, man.
Yeah, thanks for being here. The name of this show is called Just Ask a Question. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Harry, what would you like to plug? Where can we see you?
So I have a Substack. Please check me out on Substack. It's called Standing Our Ground, Our Ground, because it's not just me, it's all of us. I'm on Blue Sky at Libra Dunn 1. And my pack, Harry Dunn's Democracy Defenders. Check us out. We believe in not just giving blind money to Democrats to just do whatever they want, but ones that actually are out there fighting for us and fighting for this country, and not just doing the status quo, messaging. So check us out, and hopefully you feel inclined to support.
There you go. And the name of the show is called Just Ask a Question. Thanks again for joining us. We will catch you next time.